The Philippines went to war with the Americans from February 1899 to July 1902. The U.S. ended up winning against the Philippines. It ended up with the Treaty of Paris. Emilio Aguinaldo started the war against America. 4,200 Americans died, while 200,000 Filipinos died due to violence, famine, and diseases. This fight was important because it helped the Philippines gain independence from Spain by fighting the Americans. The Philippines had been a colony of Spain for over 300 years.
The Spanish-American War caused the Philippine-American War because the Americans went against the Spanish, and the Spanish and the Filipinos got mad at the result of the Spanish-American War, and fighting broke out between the Americans and the Spanish, causing the Philippine-American War to start on February 4th, 1899. The war took place in Manila, Philippines. The war was very brutal. The Philippines used conventional tactics, fighting from the countryside and villages.
The U.S. military responded with brutal counterinsurgency measures, including widespread civilization suffering, forced relocations, and destruction of villages. The Americans captured Emilio Aguinaldo, and the Philippines surrendered the Americans, led by the Treaty of Paris. In the end, it remained significant in American and Philippines history.
On April 21, 1898, the Spanish-American War began in the Philippines as the United States defended and freed the Philippine people from Spanish colonization. Emilio Aguinaldo quickly emerged as a Filipino leader and ally of the United States in the war against Spain. Emilio Aguinaldo believed in the independent Philippines, but after the war with Spain was over, his hope and ideas, ironically based on the United States Declaration of Independence and Constitution, were destroyed as the conflict evolved to the War of the United States against the independence movement and the Philippine Revolution.
The Americans did not recognize that the Philippines signed their own Declaration of Independence, but the Philippines attempted to take control of their own land and claim independence over the Spanish and Americans. And this caused fighting and tension to break out, starting the Philippine-American War.
One thing that was right was the leaders of the nascent Philippine Republic, who were actually in control of the entire archipelago except Moania, did not recognize U.S. sovereignty over the islands. One thing that was wrong was that the United States, meanwhile, rejected the Filipino claim of independence.
The Philippines basically knew Emilio Aguinaldo as their version of Abraham Lincoln. By the website giving us important background information on the Philippine-American War, we started to form our thesis with the help of this website.
On February 4th, 1899, with the Philippines and Americans fighting to the end on June 16, 1902, resulting in the Philippines being an independent country and America winning the war.
Also includes the small and big events in between. With these facts, we were able to develop a thesis statement and have a good sense of how long the Philippine-American War and what the most significant events were. In the end, this website helped us develop our thesis statement, and it gave us more information about the Philippine-American War from 1899 to 1902.
The Philippine-American War has a significance in history. First off, the Philippine-American War helped the Filipinos earn independence from Spain. After the Spanish-American War in 1898, the U.S. acquired the Philippines from Spain under the Treaty of Paris, marking a shift toward overseas expansion. The Philippines became a symbol of the U.S. growing global influence and its interest in maintaining a colonial presence in the Pacific and Asia. The war also highlighted the Filipino people's struggle for independence and self-determination. The Philippines had fought against Spanish colonial rule for over 300 years, and with Spain's defeat, Filipino revolutionary leaders, notably Emilio Aguinaldo, declared independence on June 12, 1898. However, the U.S. ignored this declaration and sought to establish its own control over the archipelago, resulting in a violent conflict.
On April 21, 1898, the Spanish-American War started in the Philippines, with the United States stepping in to defeat and liberate the Filipino people from Spanish rule. Emilio Aguinaldo swiftly became a permanent Filipino leader and a key ally of the United States in the fight against Spain. Although Aguinaldo advised an independent Philippines as aspiring rooted in the principles of the U.S. Declaration of Independence and Constitution, were ultimately crushed when the conflicts shifted from a war against Spain to a battle between the United States and Philippine independent movement.
On April 21, 1998, the Spanish-American War started in the Philippines, with the United States stepping to defend and liberate the Filipino people from Spanish rule. Emilio Aguinaldo swiftly became a prominent Filipino leader and a key ally of the United States to fight against Spain. Although Aguinaldo envisioned an independent Philippines and aspirations rooted in the principles of the U.S. Declaration of Independence and Constitution, were ultimately crushed when the conflict shifted from war against Spain to a battle between the United States and the Philippine independence movement.